Good morning and welcome to Tuesday Tooth Talk. I'm Dr. Kuiper, and today we're going to talk a little bit about dental anatomy or tooth anatomy. So a lot of times when we're talking about things with patients, questions come up in terms of like, what is this part of the tooth, or what's that part of the tooth, or how does this relate to that in terms of the tooth makeup. So today we're going to take a little bit of time to go into what the different parts of the tooth are. The outer layer of the tooth is comprised of enamel. That's what you always see advertised on TV, that people are whitening with whitening products, or that's what toothpaste works on, is the enamel of the tooth. It's the hardest part, it's the white part, it's the part we want to preserve, because as time goes on and we lose enamel, our body cannot make more enamel on the tooth, which is then why we do fillings and crowns to replace and rebuild that enamel with essentially artificial enamel. Underneath the enamel is something called dentin. Dentin actually has little tubes in it that help us to feel hot and cold when we breathe in cold air or drink something really cold and it gets on our teeth. That's what allows us to feel it, is the dentin. Now the dentin is a little bit softer than the enamel, which means that when enamel is lost, say through grinding or a fracture on the tooth or anything like that, and the dentin gets exposed, that dentin is very, very susceptible to even something like the acids in pop or soda. Can actually wear away that dentin and allow cavities to form very quickly. And once cavities form in dentin, they grow very quickly and they expand down those little tubes to the nerve of the tooth. So the third part of the tooth is the nerve. And the nerve is in the very center of the root of the tooth. What that nerve does, again, is it allows us to feel hot and cold, other sensations on the teeth, sometimes such as biting. If there's any cracks on the teeth, it'll let us know about those. Sometimes may not be the most comfortable way of letting us know, but that is what essentially allows the tooth to have a little bit of that sensation. So when we talk about doing a root canal, for example, a root canal actually removes that nerve from the tooth, which is usually damaged from decay or a broken area or something like that. And then we replace the nerve with, again, artificial filling material, so that at the end of the day, the tooth structure itself, so the dentin and the enamel of the tooth, are still intact. It's all still healthy. All that changes is that the nerve is no longer there and the tooth doesn't feel hot and cold. So those are kind of the three main parts of the tooth. You have the enamel, the outside, the really strong material, the dentin, which is underneath that, which supports the enamel and provides a kind of a transmission of sensation to the third part, which is the nerve of the tooth. So kind of a brief rundown on the general anatomy of the tooth. If you have questions, we'd love to talk about it with you. I mean, this is something we have a lot of expertise in. So give us a call and we'll talk about that with you at a later date. Enjoy the rest of the day.